What's up guys? Welcome back to Machines Inc. Today, I got a new tool that I want to share with you guys, but first, we got to put it together. What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Machines Inc. in the garage. Today we are putting together a tool that I'm really excited for. It is a new Rouge Fab tubing bender. So this will open up a lot of opportunities for a lot of future projects. Definitely really excited about it. Rouge Fab offers a really good price on a tubing bender for a pretty solid setup. And they offer an option that comes unwelded, unpainted for a little bit less expensive, and you can toss it together yourself, so that's what I did. All the parts are laser CNC cut, so they're super clean, everything lines up nice. We just gotta get it all put together and weld it up. So today we're gonna go through and put that all together, and then also I wanna create a custom rolling cart for the tubing bender. Obviously you guys have probably seen I have a pretty small garage, so I need to be able to move this thing around to not only use it, but also get it out of the way for other projects. So once I get this bender together, we're gonna go ahead and put it up on the bench, and our first project with it will be bending up some tube to make a custom rolling cart for it. So to start off with this project, first I'm just gonna take a angle grinder with a flap disc and clean off some mill scale on most of the parts that are gonna be welded together. Mill scale can make your weld a lot weaker, so we want to make sure, since this bender is going to be under a lot of stress bending this tube, that none of these welds will fail. Then once these are cleaned up, I'm going to go back and wipe down all the pieces with some acetone to make sure there's no grease or residue left over on the metal. To assemble the main base of this, really the best option would be if you had a metal fixture table to put that on. Obviously I don't have that, and I don't really trust how straight that my wooden workbench is either. So we're going to start by assembling the main base on the ground, on the concrete, since I know the concrete is probably the flattest thing that I have in the garage. And then once we get that main base tacked together, we'll move that up to the workbench and then complete the rest of it up here. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into it. They gave a good set of instructions we're going to go through and just follow it step by step. Doesn't seem too hard. We're just going to tack everything together first, measure everything, make sure it's straight, burn it all together, and then take it apart for paint. So let's go ahead and jump into this, and I'll give you guys a little montage of knocking this thing out. All right, so now we have this whole thing tacked together, everything's square, and it is time to finish weld this whole thing. Biggest thing here is that we just want to take our time welding and weld small sections, moving to different areas so we don't build too much heat in one area and warp it, just like all the other projects we've talked about this on. Also, via the instructions, not all areas need 100% weld. There's certain areas that are specified, they only need like half of the length welded or a quarter of the length welded. Where I'm going to start is all of the main gusset corner joints. Start with those to make sure everything's rigid, then we can kind of toss this thing around and not worry about smacking it and bending it out of place to weld the rest of it. Let's go ahead, crank the welder on, and burn this thing all together. All right, we got this thing all slammed together. I think it turned out pretty decent. The paint on the main body turned out real good. Paint on the die wheels got a little bit of runs in them, but who cares? This thing's probably gonna get scratched up in the garage anyways. Overall, I'm definitely happy with it. Not gonna lie, after assembling it, these die wheels are a little floppy, so we'll have to see how they work once they're actually operating. But a lot of people really dig this bender, so we'll have to see how it works. Now comes the fun part, which I want to build up a cart for this so I can move it around in the garage. So that'll be the first project we get to throw on here. I already have a bunch of 1 3/4 tube by 120 wall. It's pretty standard for like rock sliders, roll cages, stuff like that. And that's the size die that I got with this as well. I'm gonna go ahead and use that to bend up a cart for this thing and get the first project underway. So let's see how it goes. Overall, I am super happy with how this whole project turned out. The bender went together super easy. I think the welds on it look nice. The finish came out nice. It was cool to go ahead and use it for a first project, to go ahead and put this cart together, to get that all set up. And the cart will be vital since I have such a small workspace to be able to bring this bender and move it out of the garage or also bring it over to a project where I'm working. And I think the cart will be a cool project that'll progress over time to be able to add some more mounts and trays on here to hold additional dies, extra parts and pieces for the bender, just so I can keep everything in one location and not have everything scattered all over the garage and get it lost. I think this tool is gonna open up a whole new world of fabrication options in the garage. I'm super excited to get a few projects knocked out with this. Especially, I've been talking forever that the van does need some sliders, so that could be a cool first project to start using this. If any of you guys are in the Denver area and you want some tube bumpers or some sliders for a good price, slide into my DMs, let me know, and I could probably hook you up with a good set of bumpers, sliders, kind of any sort of tube fabrication work. If you guys did dig today's video, definitely give it a thumbs up. If you want to see some future projects with this tubing bender, whether it be some sliders, bumpers, roll cages, all sorts of stuff, definitely subscribe to the channel. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I am not Jake from State Farm. As always, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.